Solid Hill TDS, J. Leo, Hitchhikers, check. I'ma spit fire and propane. Keep a little baggie of some veggies, your romaine. Zombie ass bitch tryna eat up the whole brain. While this bummy ass nigga still asking for more change. Get your taste buds lit, popping right under your tongue. Lighting up a sharp strain, feel like it's chopping your lungs. Smoke another leaf to the head, feeling like Danny Phantom. Got a medicine jar in my car full of zany samples. Running with the factions when my rations getting low. Get down on the floor, blood races like I'm whipping blow. Shit show for show, I don't know, I just release and go. Can't hear what you're saying, this sweet too loud and you're speaking low. Johnny smoking haze in a blaze, I got heat it though. Then I'm let the heater flow and send it to the heat below. Think it's a game, I pick the day before you let him roll. Think I'm insane, but from the start I never had control.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? Have you ever laid with a demon with the flames by your bedside? Smoking the air, sipping on spirits, get the mood right, get the crew hype. Middle fingers to the blue lights, dancing on your grave while I gaze into the moonlight.
Rolling through the city, heart is empty, but I'm feeling frisky, knowing I can make it even though these niggas want it in me. Got some rolling papers and some bitches, yeah, we getting litty, feeling out of place. Fuck it, I got my niggas with me. We on a long road, smoking trees and bagging hoes. Love is faded, I'm jaded, consequences are never told. Running out of character, the real me is getting old. Facing the facade, 50 shades, and I fall below. I'm on some new shit, underworld a new bitch. Your loose lips tangle you up, I guess this news fits. I do this, spitting some fire in F doom hits. The sun god bringing some light, now watch your mood switch. Hieroglyphs when writing scripts, namaste but conquering. Conjuring some spirits in the valleys where they die and quit. Just a gladiator on a righteous tip, still sharp and steel, but I'm colder than the Arctic gets.
Chill. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lamar in the building. We are here, I.O.W. Sports Late Night Edition, episode 155. As always, it's your boy Silent Hill, aka 40 Water, the homie right there. Silent Hill, J. Leo, Odell dance song. Official and unofficial theme song to the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Edition. Go show them some love to those fellas on the YouTube page. Hitchhikers, you just scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Speaking of the man, Silent Hill, because I'm rocking his merch right now. Make sure y'all go over to his Instagram page. Broken Heart Society. I'm rocking the pink John today. It's feeling real springish today. But definitely go show some love to their Instagram page. Cop some t-shirts, hoodies. You know the deal. But while you're over there at YouTube, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the I.O.W. Sports Network YouTube page. I.O.W. Sports Space Network on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Let us know what you think of their content. Definitely spread the word. That's where all the content is going to be stored at. Of course, we do got an Instagram account. We drop little teasers or little hypes of certain episodes that we got on there. Same with the Twitter. We got both of those as well. So yeah, we do got a Twitter and an Instagram. We appreciate the follow. But all the content is going to be on the YouTube page. Whenever you get a chance, going over to the Facebook open forum page. So at I.O.W. Sports Network on Facebook. Give you a chance to drop a hot take, spark a good conversation, drop a meme, sports meme. We're big on networking, so if you got a sports podcast, come on over and share your content, and we probably do a collaboration on some sports topics. If you got a small business, plug away your goods and services that you got. You never know what kind of sale could be made on that Facebook page. We got about almost 300 people on that Facebook page. So and spread out across the whole continental U.S. So you never know. You never know who you might get a sale from. I mean that's the point of the page, is to have that there for you guys. So it's all public. It's all public. Yeah, 263 people that we got in there. That's the Facebook page for sure. Um, what's good, Matt? How you doing, my brother? My man Matt in the building. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you, my brother. But most importantly, going over to your respective app stores, whether it's the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Download the I.O.W network app, which is the whole umbrella of I.O.W. And gives you a chance to hear, of course, I.O.W Sports, but I often wonder our social podcast, as well as LJ Presents, White Vault Air Paradoxica, um, Dirty Hills, and a lot of great music from underground independent artists trying to do their thing to mainstream artists. Look, y'all, there's no top player today. No top player today. I mean, obviously, we gonna talk about a couple of things. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We got to talk about Deshaun Watson, man. Crazy, 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 crazy move. Let's get one thing straight, and this is one thing that's bothering me that I'm seeing across social media. The man was not convicted. Criminal charges were not put on him. They went to the grand jury to see if they were going to pursue a criminal cases. They deemed there wasn't enough evidence. Leave it alone. Stop calling this man a criminal. All right. So by law, he was found not to be of doing any wrongdoing, and he is free to go about his life as a normal human being, just like anybody else. Can we stop? Can we stop calling the man a criminal? He is not a criminal. He ain't been convicted of nothing. Let's stop the foolishness now. I know that and on social media you get the free reign to say whatever you want, but let's state some facts. The man ain't a criminal. He ain't. Look, the silver suits. There's 22 of them. Anybody can deal with silver suits, but silver suits don't make you a criminal. All right. I hate seeing this man getting called a criminal on social media. It's disgusting. It's because he's not. He's not a criminal. If he was a criminal, he wouldn't be allowed to be playing football right now. Nobody in those rooms with Deshaun or know the situation 100% to a fact. But by law, it wasn't enough evidence. He's not a criminal. And that's one thing that Deshaun is going to have to face dealing with this situation coming back. He's going to have to deal with those heckling. He's going to have to deal with a lot of heckling. He's going to hear it. He's going to see it. People are going to be nasty. They're going to be rude about it. It is what it is. People are going to be upset about the situation, and he's pretty much, Yeah, what's up, Scott? Yeah, OJ had to deal with some shit too. How many times he probably was called a murderer after he got acquitted? Deshaun's he's gonna have to develop some thick skin and a big some mental toughness, because he's gonna deal with a lot of heckling, and it ain't gonna be pretty. I mean, that's just the way it is. But you look at the Falcons were close. Matt, you stupid if the glove don't fit. Falcons were close. Man, I got green tea today. My fault, Scott. No more Dalo tonight. I've been trying to watch my figure. So I got tea today. Plus I had quite a few beers yesterday for St. Patty's Day, so no more Dalo tonight. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna look at this trade in two folds. Well, one, I was surprised that Cleveland pulled the trigger. I was surprised. I thought they were gonna, keep trying to deny the fact that Baker wasn't the guy. I figured they was going to do all that they could to keep backing Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield, man, I'm sorry, you're not your value for what the Browns are going to get back. Trust me, is not even going to be close compared to what Cleveland just gave up to get Deshaun Watson. Not at all. I mean, what can you do? Scott says, I'm a Texas fan. I believe it's a good deal for both if it gets them to at least the AFC Championship in the next 2 years. Getting the for the Texans, it works out. Obviously, you get 3 number ones. You know what I'm saying? For the Texans, you don't have to give up any players to get rid of Deshaun or to make the trade go through. Pretty much, you get a buttload of picks. Which, I mean, a team like the Texans who need lots and lots of help across the whole team of things that are missing. And obviously, I think the Texans, it looks like they got enough faith in Davis Mills. Looks like they got enough. But it definitely frees up the salary. You're 100% right about that, Scott. But you get all those draft capital that you just got back from Deshaun. You can build your team year in and year out for at least the next 3 years. Is keep building, adding in the draft. Young talent. I mean, you got a shit ton of draft capital right now for the Texans. You gotta be happy about that. So you free up money, like Scott said, which is 100% right, and you got draft capital. Yeah, you're right, Matt. Yeah, I mean, you weren't going. It wasn't going to happen. Deshaun made it clear cut from the beginning, even before the allegations. I do not want to be here. So you just going to force it. You already wasted a whole year paying the man that sat on the bench. He could have played. He wasn't suspended. He wasn't ineligible to play. He was a healthy scratch all year. It was only $10 million, but still. You're not wasting $10 million now, no more. You get to move on, not just as a franchise, but as Deshaun Watson. And look, let's be honest. The NFL community did not care about those 22 civil suits. They do not care. People get sued. Civil means it's just public. That you can sue each other. It doesn't mean that a crime was committed. The criminal charges was the only thing that they cared about. That was the only thing they cared about. Oh, that is Scott, man. That's crazy you say that. That's it. That's the Houston model. Watson, John Wall get paid for nothing. It's funny you say that because it's like that's a trend only in Houston for some reason. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand paying superstars for nothing. Hell, I'm so cheap. I don't like when the damn kids My 4 and 6-year-old leave damn lights on or TVs on in a room, and they go on to another room for the next 15 minutes. Go turn that shit off. I'm cheap, so I can't understand paying a millionaire millions of dollars to sit on the sideline. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. You feel me? To me, it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's bad business. Because when you're running a business, and especially everything cost, labor, overhead, supplies, supplies for this, supplies for that, this, that, everything. If you look at a business expense, man, expenses are the list is long as hell. I need my return on investment. Where's my return on investment of a dude sitting on a bench for 17 games? Where's the return on investment on that? Ain't none. Me personally, if I was Texas, I would have played Deshaun Watson last year. It wasn't against no rules. He was eligible to play. I would have played him. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But everything played out, and now you fast forward to today. Not only does Deshaun get what he wants, as in he gets out of Houston, and let's be honest, going to Cleveland is a good setup. Cleveland's roster is built to get to a Super Bowl on paper. Cleveland's roster is built to get to a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield was their anchor. Let's be quite frank about that. He was the anchor. He was the only thing stopping them to going far into the playoffs. And so Deshaun Watson gets out of a real bad situation in Houston, and that's regardless of the allegations. He didn't want to be there. Guess what he wants? He walks into a new deal. 5-year, $230 million contract. And by the research that I did, is fully guaranteed. But what he did was, in his agent, kudos to his agent, whoever his agent is, his base salary for this first year, upcoming year, in 2022, it's a $1 million base pay. So pretty much everything's backloaded on that contract. But it works out because of the 22 civil suits. If there's a possibility that Deshaun Watson faces suspension, he ain't losing a shit ton of money. Deshaun and his agent. That's something. That's genius. Because you know that Deshaun Watson's going to be there for the rest of that contract. But if he faces any suspension and only loses and probably just did 1 year, just $1 million, wow. Can't beat that. If I'm Deshaun Watson, man, I am doing everything to show appreciation to my lawyer for making that smart move. Hell, I just got free $10 million last year. I probably ain't even touched that. And you damn right, Scott. Whoever his agent is he's about to build an enterprise. Because this man literally just saved Deshaun Watson a lot of money by structuring that contract that way. Not only $230 million guaranteed contract over 5 years. From what I saw, it was fully guaranteed. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but that's what I saw. But on his base salary for this first year in Cleveland, in case he gets suspended. He ain't losing a lot of money. You could lose $1 million, but knowing the fact that you still get 229 back instead of vice versa, that's brilliant. That's brilliant work by his agent. Brilliant work by his agent. That losing that $1 million ain't shit. I got 229 more. So at a 230, you telling me at a 230 million, only lose 1 million? I sign up for that every day. Deshaun Watson absolutely won in this case. Cleveland wins. Cleveland wins. You get look, but before the bullshit, let's not sit here. Yeah, I'm up for a raise, man. I know. I need to call that man too. I'm about to tell him I need to find a way to up some shit so I can get a raise like that. But let's be honest. Before this situation with Deshaun was going down, the man was a top 5 quarterback, was he not? Top 5 quarterback. Man's 26 still. 25, 26 years old. If anything, Deshaun is not even at the middle of his peak yet. Cleveland's getting a hell of a quarterback. Lucky for them, they got some moves that they got to make. You're going to get some draft capital back for Baker Mayfield. What you got for Deshaun? No. And the crazy thing, Scott, not only do they have 2 number 1 running backs in the backfield with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, so they got one of the best backfields. Then you, what was that guy's name? Duke Johnson. They came out of nowhere. Who was his 3rd string, and he rushes for 100 yards in the game. So you got him, Ernest Johnson. So you got 3 legit running backs, and you just added Deshaun Watson, who by not only is a good passer, but his escapability and he's mobile. You can add him to the running game, but he can pass as well. You keep David Njoku, your tight end, your athletic tight end. Still got Austin Hooper, backup tight end. Donovan Peoples-Jones, decent wide receiver. If you want to bring Jarvis Landry back, I mean, you can possibly bring him back on a nice little team-friendly, $5, $6, $7 million contract for 1 year. I mean, if Juju Smith goes to Kansas City on pretty much on a $3 million base contract that can incentive base that pretty much can go up to $10.5 million. I'm pretty sure Jarvis Landry can get that same type of contract. Jarvis Landry is 28, 29 years old. So he at least got a couple more years left in the tank that he could possibly give you. Look, Cleveland, I'm not saying this as a sports. I'm not saying Cleveland is a Super Bowl contender. And I'm not ready to go off on that ledge yet, just because. But we got to see how that team is going to finally, finish up with all the moves, not only just in free agency, draft, get through training camp, get through preseason, and see what they actually look like. Let's pump the brakes on all this, Super Bowl contendership thing. All right. There's only one team in the AFC that has proven for 4 years in a row that they can make a deep run in the playoffs. And that's not me being a homer. That's just facts. Kansas City Chiefs are the only team in the AFC that have proven the last 4 years that they can make a deep run and a legitimate run to get to a Super Bowl. That's not me being a homer. That's just facts. But you look at the AFC as a whole now. Let's go by division. AFC East. Obviously, Buffalo is a Super Bowl contender. Patriots, they were in the playoffs. I wouldn't say they're a Super Bowl contender, but hell, they can possibly make it to the AFC Championship game. Dolphins still got work to do. They're closer to being a playoff contending team, not a Super Bowl contending team. They're closer to a playoff contending team. Jets, a lot of work to do. A lot of work. All right. That's your AFC East. Let's go to the South. Tennessee. That's it. I would say Indianapolis, but obviously they can't get the quarterback situation right. They look better with an old man, Phillip Rivers. They might need to holler at him. He may be too old, but damn it, they went 11-5. Obviously, they get rid of him. Carson Wentz wasn't the answer. I don't know what they're gonna do now. If they get a decent quarterback, I might bump them in that conversation. But until then, I can't trust Indianapolis to be in a Super Bowl contending category team yet. They look good. I love their defense. Love Jonathan Taylor. Love Jonathan Taylor. But they collapsed and folded at the end of that season. They should have been an 11, 12-win team, and they messed around and only won 9 and missed the playoffs last year. That says something to me. So they're not ready for that. They're not ready for that spot yet. Tennessee's probably the only team out of that division. Jacksonville, not even close to being ready. Houston, not even close to being ready. All right, that's the AFC South. Let's go to the AFC North. Cincinnati, hey, just was in the Super Bowl. Got to do it again. You got to show that you can recreate all that madness and hoopla that you did this year. Got to recreate it. I like Joe Burrow. Cincinnati needs some. They need some offensive line help. It cost them the Super Bowl. It cost them the Super Bowl. Let's be honest. Can't protect your man. Can't keep him upright. Can't give him time. You gotta look. If I'm Cincinnati, I don't do nothing but draft nothing but the offensive line till I got at least 2 to 3 capable dudes at each position. I don't care. I don't care. I know you got Jamar Chase. Damn good rookie. He looked good. He looked damn good this year. T. Higgins looked good. Boyd looked good. You lose T.J. Uzama, your tight end. You lose him to the Jets for free agency. So obviously you got a little a gap at tight end. You got to fix now. You need some pass rush to go in Hendrickson. You need some corners because I was getting some torch too. You know, burnt apple back there, Eli Apple. Get rid of him. But Cincinnati, look, I get it. You were in the Super Bowl. But if you don't fix that O-line and address the holes that you got on that team, better hope you can get back to the playoff. I'm not saying that they can't. I just want to see it on a consistent basis. Let's not crown Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals quite yet. I know how the talking heads in the media want to do that. Let's pump the brakes on that. Let's pump the brakes on that. I see your comment. I think Jadeveon Clowney could probably be a cheap little addition to that defense. Who knows? If I'm Cleveland, I would actually go and try to get him back. But you look at Cincinnati won that division, go to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, they were in the playoffs, didn't have a good ending, but hell, they chose to think Mitchell Trubisky is going to be the answer quarterback. I don't know if they stick to that, but in my personal opinion, I don't think the Steelers got the franchise quarterback in the building right now. You got Trubisky, you got Mason Rudolph, and you got Dwayne Haskins. Somebody tell me where you see your franchise quarterback out of any one of those three. I'll wait. I don't see a franchise quarterback out of those three. So maybe Pittsburgh's taking another way around. Get everything else fixed around on this franchise before we go get a quarterback. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know if Mike Thomas answered. But I know he's the common denominator of a lot of good things that happen on that team. I'm just saying with Pittsburgh, for you to go to the playoffs with a trash quarterback that Ben Roethlisberger has been playing the last few years. I mean, you got enough to get to the playoffs, but you're getting your ass kicked. I'm just saying, if you don't solve what you have as signal caller, which you didn't bother to fix the problem, knowing that Ben Roethlisberger was old and couldn't throw. You never answered the problem. And so now you got to wait till he retires, now that he is retired. And yes, I agree with you, Matt. I think Trubisky is serviceable. But serviceable doesn't get you championships. This ain't the same league that Trick Dilfer got a championship in 2000 because he had a Hall of Fame defense. Literally. That 2000 Ravens defense is Hall of Fame caliber. They could have made a Hall of Fame defense just off of that defense by itself in 2000. Of course, that's all he had to be was serviceable. But that ain't like that. That ain't like that now. You gotta, not all mediocre quarterbacks is going to have a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning defense on the other side of the field. It's not built like that no more. And so you got to be more than serviceable to get just in that conversation of sniffing a damn Super Bowl trophy. Like, you got to be able to make some plays. And so Ravens missed their opportunity. They need to change. I don't think the Ravens missed their opportunity. Here's my thing. The Ravens need to open up the playbook more for Lamar Jackson, because I don't think Lamar Jackson has reached his full potential of his quarterbacking skills. I'll say that. And I also believe that had the Ravens not had a lot of injuries last year, I mean, they were just really crushed by injuries last year. They're a better team. But it is what it is. Injuries are part of the game. They never found a true way to adjust. And I mean, they didn't make it to the playoffs. It is what it is. I mean, they weren't a trash team. Even with all the injuries, they weren't terrible. I just think, barring all the injuries that the Ravens had, the Ravens are still a Super Bowl caliber team. I just wish they would do more with Lamar, as in play calling wise. Open up the playbook. The man's hella crazy athletic. Try to help put him in good positions that he can have quick throws, quick throw plays, hit some slants, hit some out routes, in routes, drag routes, just to get him going. Obviously he's always going to be a threat running. But I'm saying, like, let's start putting Lamar Jackson in real manageable plays to help him get his confidence. Sometimes let him get the easy layups before you start letting him, throw the deep ball 3-point bombs. If that makes sense, if my metaphor makes sense. Let him get his confidence right before you start opening up the playbook. Me personally, man, I'm treating it like, let's warm up the car a little bit. Few handoffs, few little slants, easy throws, get the football out your hands quick, keep the defense honest. Every now and then throw a little running play in there for you, Lamar, and then let's open this motherfucker up. Open the playbook up. I think the play calling has hindered Lamar Jackson just a little bit. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson is his all-world quarterback, but I also feel like he hasn't been also given the same opportunities to show how great he is. I think Lamar Jackson could blow the cover off playing quarterback and really, really set it off into another atmosphere of quarterback play and given a right play caller to open the damn playbook up. I mean, sometimes I think the Ravens handcuff him. I think the Ravens handcuff him. What's going on, Mel? I agree with you. He does need a number one target. But I'm gonna also say this because of the way that the Ravens are set up for run first, I wouldn't break the bank for a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't throw no Christian Kirk type of money, 21 million a year, or no Devontae Adams getting 26 million a year for a wide receiver. I would get a good solid wide receiver, pay him 16, 17 million a year, just to know that I got an actual legitimate number one option. I wouldn't break the bank just because of how you structure your offense. But it would have to be a wide receiver that can block, just because we are still a run first based offense, but also he can separate, pretty much run just about any route. Maybe a decent running back with wide receiver with size. Um, something like a Mike Williams, a Mike Evans, that I will feel comfortable paying 16, 17 million dollars a year for. But he's going to be a physical guy just because we're a physical team. But I wouldn't break the bank for a wide receiver from Baltimore Ravens, because that's just not your identity. Well, in that case, if they want to run the ball, at least get them a number one running back. I think J.K. Dobbins is a number one running back. He just got hurt last year. Well, that whole running back room got hurt last year. You had running back one, running back two, running back three, all hit injured reserve. Didn't even make it to a regular season game. Yes, I agree with you. I think Allen Robinson would have been great. But Allen Robinson actually got smart and went to the Rams. Still got a nice little chunk of money, not overpaid. But he was also able to get into a situation where he's around Cooper Kupp, which is going to open you up to more opportunities because people know who Cooper Kupp is. We got to stop him. There's a big possibility that the Rams want to bring Odell back. Unfortunately for Odell, that injury in the Super Bowl cost him some money. We got to call it what it is. It sucks that it cost him some money. But I mean, it's just so late in the season. You play in the last game of the year in NFL and you get an ACL injury. Your timeline of coming back is gonna be, sometime, you hope, in the middle of the damn regular season next year. So you're gonna miss some time on OBJ. So that hurts his situation right there. They're hoping that they can work out a deal with keeping Robert Woods. But Robert Woods has been guarding some phone calls from other teams. Other teams are like, well, hell, you just got Allen Robinson. Obviously, Robert Woods got to be up for sale, or OBJ. Some of them guys got to be up for trade bait. So there's no guarantee Robert Woods stays in LA. If I'm Robert Woods, me personally, I would stay. I mean, you got to look at what's going on down there in LA. You got teams. You got players that are sometimes willing to take less because you just won a Super Bowl. You got players willing to take less to come be part of a franchise. Y'all see it every year. It's the Super Bowl effect. It's going to be like that. You're going to get some guys who are like, hey, man, I don't necessarily need to play for the money, but the opportunity to get a championship, that looks real tantalizing. Speaking of Mike Evans, that dude that bought that Brady bought. Imagine being the dude that bought Tom Brady's last football for like, what? Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it like 518,000, 519,000 that it sold for at an auction? And then literally a couple of days later, he's like, nah, damn, Dad, I'm coming out of retirement. Boy, the value of that football went way down, and you paid for nothing. You paid for nothing. You didn't wasted your money, Joe. You didn't, yeah. If 518,000, but you didn't wasted your money, Joe. I'll be hot than a motherfucker, dog. I hope Allen Robinson stays healthy. That kid is talented and underappreciated. It's because he got stuck in two crappy franchises, man. Allen Robinson was good in Jacksonville. He got stuck in Jacksonville. That's enough you need to know. Anytime you get stuck in Jacksonville, man, that hurts your chance of being seen. You know, it is similar to a situation we talked about earlier this week about Karl Anthony Towns being a great center. People go look at Karl Anthony Towns' numbers. He's putting up numbers like Jokic. He's putting up numbers like Embiid, but he's not getting the limelight because he's in a crappy media market in Minnesota. He's on a crappy franchise like the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that happened to Allen Robinson. He's on the crappy Jaguars with crappy quarterbacks. Still balled. Didn't get the limelight. He goes over to Chicago. Okay, bigger market, but the team still ain't that good. Yeah, you're going to get seen on TV because, believe it or not, Chicago Bears always get their media exposure just because they're in a big media market in Chicago. Teams not necessarily always been that good, but Chicago get playtime on primetime games. So you saw Allen Robinson, but still he ain't really had much of a quarterback, and so now he gets to go to a high potent offense. But believe it or not, he's going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage. Having Cooper Kupp by your side and a healthy Robert Woods, you're going to see some one-on-one situations because there's not a such thing as a defense being able to cover three good receivers at one time. It ain't like that. It just ain't. Yeah. But no, man, crazy day. Crazy day in the NFL with that Deshaun Watson situation. Man, just look at the AFC. AFC is loaded. AFC is absolutely loaded. Not only our safeties are fucked, but I played a clip the other day. Colin Cowherd, he made a true point. How many teams you see with an actual two good corners on one team, two good cornerbacks? It's not often you're going to see a football team with two good cornerbacks, and you're not going to see an NFL team with two good cornerbacks and two good safeties. You're just not going to see it. I mean, Buffalo Bills with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, to me, probably got the best safety tandem in the NFL. But what happened to them? They was getting torched too. Man, it's tough playing defense nowadays, man. I know if I have a son, I'm telling him not to play defense. Go play wide receiver, quarterback. Or if you got the size, play left tackle. That's where the money's at. I would always tell them, don't you dare play running back. Because your value is not going to matter in the NFL. If I had a son and he want to play running back, I would do all I can to persuade him not to do running back. I mean, it kicker, Scott. Hey, is all jokes aside? What's his name? Young Wo Cool. Young Wo Cool. I'm probably butchered the shit out of his name. Plays for the Falcons. He just got a 4-year, like $25 million contract as a kicker. And you're right. There is some longevity in it. Y'all saw how long Vinatieri was kicking in NFL. You know, he got a couple of rings to prove that he was one of the best special teamers in all of NFL history. But no, real talk. I would if I had a son, I would tell him, like, I love you, son, but I'm looking out for you. I can't have you playing running back. I just can't. Unless you're going to be a shutdown corner on defense, man. I mean, there's some money in pass rushing, but you can eliminate some pass rush. You can eliminate pass rush. But damn it, wide receiver, quarterback, left tackle. That's where the money's at. Hey, that's a good point, Matt. 5 to 6 good years, and that's it from running back. And don't turn 30. You go into NFL purgatory once you hit 30, especially at running back. You used up. You're getting too old. Took too much beating. Took too much. You too much battle tested. Running backs are that thing is just not like that no more. Yeah, you over the hill. Do you think on Watson's contract opens the gates for that guaranteed money? That's a good question, Scott. I'll say this: it depends on who your agent is. Obviously, Deshaun's agent was smart. Kirk Cousins' agent is smart. Ever since he's been in Minnesota, he's been getting nothing but guaranteed dollars. Everybody go take a look at Kirk Cousins' contract since he's been in Minnesota. All his money's been fully guaranteed. When he first signed to Minnesota, it was like 3 years, $75 million, fully guaranteed. Then they redid that, fully guaranteed. And then he just got an extension for 1 year, $35 million guaranteed. So all his contracts he's got in Minnesota has been fully guaranteed. I think it's going to set precedents. I will say this: it will set precedents that more agents are going to try to copycat, because obviously the NFL is a copycat league. They're going to try to copy the same maneuver that Deshaun Watson's agent did, as in trying to get his player fully guaranteed contract money. But I've been screaming that since the loudest. It's like these players, especially in the NFL, you got to try to find a way to get your contract fully guaranteed. You play the most dangerous sport out of all the 4 major sports, where your career can be done with one hit. Hell, you better hope it hasn't happened a lot, but you can die on the football field. One wrong hit, snap your spine. You can be down for the count for life. Life. So these players gotta find a way to get they guarantee money. Say he's white. I'm sorry, that's different. The black QB has to prove themselves first. Most black QBs that are starters are better than Cousins. And you're not wrong. And you are not wrong, Scott. But I'm just I mean, obviously, we got to have that conversation of the difference between white and black quarterbacks. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, just look at how the media talks about it, how they talk about Lamar Jackson compared to, even Baker Mayfield. There's a difference in it. But me personally, Deshaun Watson is so good at a quarterback. It doesn't even matter on his race because of how good he is. And I'm not saying that it should matter in general, but I'll say this: it is Deshaun Watson's race doesn't matter because of his talent, skills. In my opinion, he's a step above Lamar Jackson, and so he's not gonna get talked about because of his race so much like Lamar Jackson would, if that makes sense. But I mean, Deshaun Watson is just setting precedent right now. The man literally last Friday was at the verge of possibly going to jail and possibly never playing football again, to literally fast forward a week later, within 1 week, gets his trade demands met, gets a new contract, and at most he's guaranteed to walk away with $230 million. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts ain't doing that. So to really talk about your when it comes to the race aspect of it, Scott, and I'm not trying to get to that point of putting race into any kind of equation, but especially when it comes with the NFL and especially the quarterback position, there's a different atmosphere on how that's judged because of race. There is. That's obvious. We can't deny that. But when you talking about Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, they're not doing the same thing. They're not running in the same lane just because off of pure talent. And Deshaun Watson's ability to play quarterback is better than Lamar Jackson's. So I see where you're going with that. It's just a different thing. Patrick Mahomes can make that type of clout move like Deshaun did. But Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson can't. Like, they show flashes of being a quarterback, of being a great quarterback. They show flashes. But you know what? And I get you were going towards Cousins worth, but you can't. I'm not going to punish Kirk Cousins for having a smart agent to make sure his contract was fully guaranteed. I'm not going to punish him for that. Obviously, if you ask me right now, would I take Lamar Jackson over Kirk Cousins, quarterback-wise, who possibly can get you to a Super Bowl? I'd probably say Lamar Jackson. If I'm going with Lamar Jackson, he's going to put more butts in seats, and he possibly got a better chance of getting my team to a Super Bowl. And it's not taken away from Kirk Cousins. I think he's serviceable. Kirk Cousins' numbers actually look good every year. It's just that he's not a consistent primetime quarterback. When the lights are the brightest and the stages are the biggest, he sometimes comes up the smallest. And when you are on the biggest stage, and if you can't come through with that, I don't know what I can do with you. Because once you get past January and get past regular season, all the stages are big. It's playoff football. The stage is big. It's set for big-time players to make big-time plays in big-time games. And unfortunately, I don't see a lot of big-time winning from Kirk Cousins. But I'm not going to punish that man for having a smart agent, for making sure all his money is guaranteed. He said, this is what I'm worth. And for some reason, the Vikings keep agreeing. Maybe we should focus on the Vikings, on why you keep evaluating Kirk Cousins for this type of money that he keeps getting guaranteed. I think we should start with them. Start with the Vikings and why they believe that Kirk Cousins is worth this guaranteed money year. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think the dummy is the Minnesota Vikings. They keep evaluating Kirk Cousins to keep giving him that type of money. I wouldn't give him all this guaranteed money. This man probably has over damn $200 million in guaranteed money. They the dummies. Obviously, if all three of us right now, between Matt, Scott, and myself, we can evaluate that Kirk Cousins' value is not worth what he's been getting, I'm pretty sure the Vikings can see the same shit. Hey, but if they want to keep sticking with him, then they'll keep getting stuck behind Aaron Rodgers. They'll keep getting stuck behind all the other NFC teams. And right now, if you look at the power structure in the NFL, it's very heavy in the AFC. So come playoff time next year in the NFC, you're going to see the Packers. You're going to see the Rams. Now that Brady is back, you're going to see the Buccaneers. And then you're going to see four other teams that's going to be trying to fight and trying to hope to knock one of them teams off. Minnesota has a chance to get in there, be one of those four teams. But that is about as far as you're going to go. You're not a Super Bowl team. Not with Kirk Cousins. Not with Kirk. Not with Captain. Not with Captain Kirk, dog. No, not with Captain Kirk. Not with Captain Kirk. But the NFC is going to be a lot more wide open than the AFC. Boy, you hitting on that one, Scott. We kind of talked about that last night, but who you going to? Davante Adams leaving speaks more volume about who Aaron Rodgers is. I'm going to break that down. The money that Davante Adams got in that trade, once he got traded to the Raiders, and the extension he got soon after, was the same money that Green Bay was willing to give him, willing to make him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. But I don't know if people paid attention to this. About a week and a half ago, report came out that Davante bought a house in Las Vegas. Then a couple of days later, a report came out that Davante wasn't happy that, once again, Aaron Rodgers is getting all this media attention and he's getting all the money again. And yet, Green Bay still made an offer that was comparable to what he would have got in Las Vegas. So I'm reading between the lines that Davante is like, bro, enough is enough. I know how good you are, Aaron Rodgers, and I know how great and special our wide receiver quarterback duo tandem is, but I'm tired of the bullshit. This is now 2-3 years in a row that you have hogging media outlines in the offseason. Maybe Davante Adams is done with the drama. As good as Aaron Rodgers is, and I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, love the talent, but he is a prima donna. He's a narcissistic asshole. Anytime a man literally separates himself from his family, the dude doesn't get along with his own family. And what side of the Aaron Rodgers fanboy tree you sit on, everybody got to admit that he was making it all about him the last few years in Green Bay, period. There's no other way to say it. There's no other way to slice it and dice it and dress it up. Aaron Rodgers was very damn selfish the last few years dealing with all this hoopla in Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers always got what he wanted. So bravo to Davante Adams for going to get his bag and still getting in the atmosphere he felt was conducive. It's not like he's going to a scrub. Derek Carr is not a scrub. And it helps that they got history. In 2 years that they played in college football at Fresno State, they combined for 39 touchdowns. The last 2 years with Aaron Rodgers, he combined for 29 touchdowns. Do some math. I know, I get it. I get it, it's college. But let's not forget that sometimes that connected mentally with another person that you got history with can go somewhere. Now you get to go with at least a good quarterback. Derek Carr is solid. As a Chiefs fan, I see him twice a year. Can he make some bonehead mistakes? Yeah, he can make some bonehead mistakes. But he's more on than off. Accurate as hell. Now you look at the weaponry that you got. And this makes more sense for Davante Adams. Hello, I get a nice slot receiver in Hunter Renfrow that can open up everything underneath. Hello, I get a mismatch in Darren Waller, who can be the next great tight end. You can't just cover me. In Green Bay, you knew who was getting the ball, Davante Adams. You were still triple coverage, and he would still ball out. But now he goes to Vegas Raiders. He doesn't have to get triple covered and still ball out. There's other options. You got it. You can't just pay attention just to Davante Adams with the Raiders. You get toasted. He's going to a real solid situation. Like, let's call it what it is. Devontae Adams goes to a better offensive situation because he's not the only weapon. You got a game plan for at least 3 guys. Check it, 4 on the Raiders. You got to check for Josh Jacobs. Got to check for Hunter Renfrow. You damn sure got to check for Darren Waller. And you better make sure you check for Devontae Adams. He's in a better situation. And he got the money. And it's less drama. That says a lot more about Aaron Rodgers. Shows how much of a dickhead he is. All right, y'all. That's the show for today. Appreciate everybody hopping in here. Man, holla at my man, Matt. I know Mel came in. Scott, man. Always a pleasure to see y'all. As always, I normally don't film on Fridays, but, you know, when the kid falls asleep and got to make up for a Tuesday show, it happens. It is what it is, right? But look, y'all folks going to have a fantastic weekend. Be safe. Enjoy the time and space we get to enjoy with loved ones while we can. Give everybody your flowers. Tell everybody you love them, because you never know. You never know when it's time for your expiration day to come. So you never know. So please go have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy each other's company of your loved ones, friends, family, and hey, go make the best of it. Go have a fantastic weekend. Y'all come back now. You're here on midnight, Monday night. Same midnight hour with your boy Wildcard Mar. It's been real, y'all. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Solid Hill to the verse. Let's get it. Let's go. Let me get serious this time. Yo, I'm on my God of War shit. All the war spits, let the bass kick, nigga, feel the fucking floor lift. Watch your pores rip from these razor blade fingers.